Welcome to today's video, where we expose how bureaucratic errors, not hackers, can wreck your credit. We'll unpack file mixing, a common mistake where credit bureaus merge your information with someone who shares a similar name or identifier. Then, we'll walk step by step through immediate actions, escalation options, and expert-level tactics to clean up the mess. Along the way, we'll test your knowledge with a couple of quick quizzes and close with a clear checklist. Now, let's start by mapping out what we'll cover. Here is today's agenda. First, we define file mixing in plain language. Next, we identify common warning signs so you can quickly confirm whether this is happening to you. Then, we move into immediate actions to contain the damage, followed by escalation strategies if basic disputes are ignored. After that, we share practical tips to speed up results. Finally, we wrap up with key takeaways. With that roadmap in place, let's define file mixing. File mixing happens when a credit bureau incorrectly matches your file to another person who shares a similar name, initial, or other attribute. Instead of being the result of a criminal stealing your identity, it is typically a matching error. A telltale sign is that you see someone else's addresses, accounts, or collections on your report. This mistake can severely lower your score and trigger denials. With the definition clear, let's pivot to the red flags you should watch for. Look for accounts or collections tied to unfamiliar cities or companies, particularly utilities and telecoms. Check the personal information section of each report for addresses and phone numbers you never used. And name variations that don't belong to you. Hard inquiries from lenders you didn't approach are another warning. When these elements cluster and include details from someone with a similar name, that strongly indicates file mixing, not sophisticated identity theft. Now that you can recognize the problem, let's shift to immediate actions to contain the damage and prevent it from getting worse. Immediately freeze your credit with Experian, Equifax, TransUnion, and Innovis to block new hard inquiries. Additionally, consider freezing at specialty bureaus such as NCTUE for telecom and utilities, and check systems for deposit accounts. Next, pull updated reports and document each inaccuracy with screenshots and annotations. When disputing, keep the language short and direct, such as "not my account" and "not my information." And also remove incorrect addresses and phone numbers. Send disputes via certified mail and store receipts, letters, and timelines in a dedicated binder or cloud folder. With containment underway, we can proceed to escalation strategies if your initial disputes are ignored. If your basic disputes are brushed off, escalate quickly. First, file a detailed complaint with your national consumer protection body, such as the CFPB in the United States. This forces the bureaus to address your case with greater urgency. Next, contact the original creditor or collector directly. Clearly explain the file mix-up and require them to verify the debt by matching unique identifiers, such as your social security number and date of birth. If they cannot verify that the debt is yours, the item should be removed. Some legal experts recommend going straight to litigation to force compliance when repeated validation requests fail. But you must verify requirements and procedures where you live. Keep your credit freeze active during escalation. To visualize this process, let's examine the dispute flow. This sequence diagram shows the primary communication paths. The consumer disputes with the credit bureau, which then requests an investigation from the furnisher, such as a lender or collection agency. The furnisher reports results back to the bureau, and the bureau provides a reinvestigation result to the consumer. If the result is unsatisfactory, the consumer files a complaint with a consumer protection agency to escalate the matter. In parallel, the consumer can request direct validation from the creditor or collector. If the creditor or collector cannot verify the debt belongs to the consumer, the account should be removed. Next, let's compare file mixing with identity theft to ensure you are solving the right problem. On the left, file mixing results from a bureau's matching error, leading to someone else's addresses, accounts, or inquiries appearing in your report. It often involves utility or telecom accounts from another region. The remedy centers on forcing the correction of the bureau's records by proving that their matching process failed. On the right, identity theft involves a criminal using your identity to open or use accounts tied to your own identifiers. The remedy then involves fraud reports, possible police filings, and a different remediation path. Understanding which scenario applies ensures you pursue the most effective strategy. With that distinction made, let's equip you with contact points for freezing your reports. Here are common freeze resources for the United States. Use the official websites for the latest procedures and numbers, as they can change. Freeze all major bureaus first, and then consider specialty bureaus such as check systems for deposit accounts and NCTUE for telecom and utility records. After you have your freezes in place, let's check your understanding with a quick quiz. Question: if you see utilities and addresses from a region you never lived in, and the name looks similar to yours, what is the most likely issue? Options: A. Sophisticated identity theft. B. File mixing by a credit bureau. C. A temporary scoring glitch. D. Your lender's routine soft pull. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is B. When utilities and addresses from unfamiliar regions appear, particularly alongside a similar name, it strongly indicates file mixing, which is a credit bureau matching error rather than identity theft. Now that we've confirmed the concept, let's move into some advanced tips to speed up your fixes. Before disputing accounts, clean up the personal information section of your reports by removing every incorrect address, phone number, or email. Keep dispute language short and unambiguous, such as "not my account" and "not my information." Send all correspondence via certified mail. Retain receipts and log dates. Maintain consistent spelling and address information across every form and letter. Include proof of identity and residency, plus a simple timeline that illustrates when errors appeared. Track statutory response windows and escalate as soon as deadlines are missed. Finally, keep your credit freezes in place until every erroneous item is removed. Let's reinforce the most important first step with a quick question. Question: what is the best first move when you discover file mixing on your credit reports? Options: A. Immediately open new credit to offset score damage. B. File disputes only and wait 60 days. C. Freeze credit with all major bureaus right away. D. Ignore it and hope it autocorrects. You may pause the video now to think about the answer. We will discuss the answer in the next section of the video. The correct answer is C. Freezing your credit immediately prevents new inquiries and limits further damage while you work through disputes and escalations. With the sequence established, let's visualize your overall defense plan. This mind map organizes your workflow into 4 branches. First, freeze includes the major bureaus and optional specialty bureaus. Second, dispute focuses on concise language, removal of incorrect personal information, certified mail, and an evidence package. Third, Escalate covers filing complaints with consumer protection agencies, direct validation requests to creditors or collectors, and the possibility of litigation, depending on your jurisdiction. Fourth, Monitor emphasizes tracking deadlines, pulling fresh reports after changes, and keeping a thorough log of all communications. Before we wrap up, let's add an important disclaimer. This video is educational and is not legal, financial, or professional advice. Laws, procedures, and timelines vary by country and state, so you should verify requirements and consult a qualified professional in your jurisdiction before taking action. With that in mind, let's cement the key takeaways and summarize your next steps. To summarize, file mixing is usually a bureau matching error, not identity theft. Start by freezing your credit, then dispute inaccurate items with concise language, and clean your personal information. If responses are unhelpful or delayed, escalate with a consumer protection complaint and direct validation requests to creditors or collectors. Maintain a rigorous paper trail and track deadlines to keep momentum. Finally, confirm local legal requirements and consider consulting a qualified professional. As we close, here's how you can support the channel and share your experience. Thank you for watching. If this video helped, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into consumer protection and credit repair strategies. Share your experiences or questions in the comments. Have you ever dealt with a mistaken identity or file mixing situation? Your insights can help others. See you in the next episode.